ได้พ่อ
Out of 44. Welcome to class. Okay, so said we all just wanted to study on Sunday. Fantastic. Just love it. Now then, today we're going to be studying Unit 3. Okay, we finished Unit 2, so on to Unit 3 we go. Wonders of the world. Now, what are we going to be studying in this unit? Well, first of all, we're going to be doing Lesson A and Lesson B. Now in Lesson A, we're going to talk about your country, Thailand, or city. Well, I happen to live in Nakhon Ratchasima, using superlative adjectives. Superlatives, big, bigger, the biggest, okay? Normally we add EST, or when we're talking about, okay, words with more than two sounds, beautiful, more beautiful, the most beautiful, okay? The most beautiful is a superlative. Or when we're talking about nouns, okay, people, more people, the most people. And in Lesson B, we're going to ask and answer questions about your country's natural features. Okay, natural features are things like, waterfalls, beaches, oceans, okay, canyons. Right, these are natural. They're man-made, and we're talking about buildings, okay, houses, roads, cathedrals, churches, temples, okay, those are man-made. And we're going to be talking about your country's natural features with how an adjective. How big is it? How long is it? How wide is it? How deep is it? Okay, now, before we start, okay, let's have a look at these pictures. Now, in number 1, we've got the Arenal volcano in Costa Rica, and it has been continuously active since 1968. So you can see the smoke coming out of the top, yeah? That means it's an active volcano, not a dormant volcano. In number 2, of course, we know this one. It's the Great Pyramid of Giza. Okay, and the Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt dates from around 2560 BCE. Now, BC, which means before Christ, okay? To easily put it, okay? Then we've got to add also 2022 add on top. So, how old is it? Well, it's 4,582 years old. Quite an old bit of building there, okay? But it's not actually a natural feature, it's a man-made feature. Next, we got the Great Canyon of Yarlung, Sangpao in Tibet. And it is deeper than the Grand Canyon in the United States. Okay, the Grand Canyon is wider, the widest, but this one is the deepest. And number 4, this is the Six Flags roller coaster, okay? Roller coaster Six Flags, Great Adventure in New Jersey. New Jersey is very close to New York in the USA, the United States of America. And it has a 139-meter drop, okay? It goes down, drop, and goes at 206 kilometers. That's very fast. All right, before we begin, have you ever done any of these things? Would you really like to do them? Have you ever seen an active volcano? I have not. I don't think. No, I haven't. Even though I've been to Pompeii, okay, that is not active, it's quite dormant at the moment. Now, have you ever visited an ancient city or monument? Yes, I have, okay. I've been to Pima well. Okay, so yeah, I've been to many ancient cities and ancient monuments around the world.
ไม่เคยอยากว่า
Have you ever gone hiking in a beautiful canyon? No, I haven't actually. Have you ever rode on a scary roller coaster? Yes, I have. I've been on some pretty big roller coasters in Alton Towers, in Effling, in a few different theme parks as well, Dream Manor. So yeah. Okay, have you ever done any of these things? Now, let's move on with our next part. Okay, now, test your knowledge. Can you guess the answer to these questions? Alright. Now look, we've got 6 questions here. Okay, look at the picture. What is the quiz about? It's about places in the world. Okay, which is the biggest, the busiest, the tallest, the largest, or highest, okay, or the most people. Alright. Are you good at these quizzes? Well, let's find out. So, listen to the quiz. Can you guess the correct answer, A, B, or C? Now, I'll play the quiz, okay? Have a listen. Then, when we're finished, I want your answers, A, B, or C, okay? Here we go.
Page 22, Unit 3, Wonders of the World. Lesson A, Human Wonders. 1. Getting started. B. Listen to the quiz. Can you guess the correct answers? Circle A, B, or C. Then compare with a
ไม่มี
partner.
ผู้เรียนบอกใครด้วย
Check your answers on the last page of your book. Test your knowledge. Can you guess the answers to these questions?
1. Which city has the tallest office building in the world? A. Kuala Lumpur. B. Taipei. C. Chicago. 2. Where is the longest suspension bridge? A. Japan. B. Denmark. C. China. 3. Where is the largest shopping mall? A. Canada. B. China. C. The United States. 4. Where is the busiest fast food restaurant in the world? A. Seoul. B. Moscow. C. Hong Kong. 5. Which city has the biggest soccer stadium in Europe? A. London. B. Dublin. C. Barcelona. 6. Which country has the most tourism? A. The United States. B. Spain. C. France.
Okay, let's get your feedback on that. So, number 1, which city has the tallest office building in the world? Is it A, Kuala Lumpur, B, Taipei, or C, Chicago?
Taipei.
Exactly, well done, Taipei, okay. Even though I think it's now Dubai, okay, with the Burj Khalifa, but this book was before they finished that. Hey, now, number 2, where is the longest suspension bridge? A, B, or C, do you think?
A. B
Exactly right. It is B, China. Okay, but I hear it's not doing very well at the moment because of the pandemic and also the economy. Hey, now it's just closed, but where is the busiest fast food restaurant in the world? What do you think, A, B, or C? Exactly right. It is B, Moscow, but not anymore. Okay, as McDonald's is closed down and now a new company owned by the Russian state has opened up. Next, number 5, which city has the biggest soccer stadium? Okay, what do you think? A, London, B, Dublin, or C, Barcelona? Oh, we haven't got many soccer players here. Soccer enthusiasts. Yes, okay, come on. They're the biggest team in the world. Okay, there are 2 biggest teams. They are Milan and Barcelona. Okay, huge stadium, 100,000 people. Absolutely amazing. Okay, last of all, which country has the most tourism? Is it A, the United States, B, Spain, or C, France? Yes, okay, yes, the most tourism. Not at the moment, it used to be, okay, because of the pandemic, or it's slowed down. But yes, France has had the most tourism. Everybody wants to see the sights at the Eiffel Tower. Okay, now, what we got to do,
สนามบอล
okay, is in part C now,
อีกชั้นหนึ่งไหมแม่
pair work. Now we can't do pair work, so we're going to do individual work.
วางไว้ตอนออกไป
Complete the questions. Now then, what we got to do is make superlative. Okay, fast, fastest, beautiful, the most beautiful, people, the most people. So, let's have a look at big, number 1. What's the big train station in the world? Now, how can I make that superlative? What do I say? What's the... No! Come on, you guys. Look. Tall. Tallest. Long. Longest. Large. Largest. Ah, that's right. You got it. Well done. Biggest train station in the world. Next. What's the busy airport in the world? How do I make that a superlative? Busy becomes the... Well done, okay. What is the busiest airport in the world? Next, where is the large building in the world? Large becomes... Yaiti Sud. Yes, well done. Where is the largest building in the world? Now, expensive. How do I make this one? What's the expensivest city in the world? That doesn't sound right. Ah, well done, that person. Yes. What's the most expensive city in the world? Now, why do we do that? Why do we add most? Why don't we just add EST? Well, there's a reason for that. Let's find out. But before that, let me just answer these questions for you. What's the biggest train station in the world? Well, I can tell you it is Grand Central in New York. Okay, you might have seen this on television many a times. They're absolutely beautiful train station. Okay, it looks like a museum. What's the busiest airport in the world? Well, I can tell you that that is Atlanta. Okay, Atlanta in the USA. Why? Well, because it's a hub. If you're going to anywhere in the whole of America, okay, not just the USA, if you go into South America, okay, first you go to Atlanta, then you go somewhere else. Okay, you go to Brazil or go to Chile or Ecuador. Where is the largest building in the world? Well, I can tell you, it's probably the Boeing building, okay, where they make the planes, okay. That's a huge building, okay, and they've got to have many planes under construction. What's the most expensive city in the world? That is always changing, okay. Now we've got Seoul. We've got Seoul, which is one of the most expensive cities in the world. Also, we got Tokyo. And also, probably even sometimes, Singapore as well. It's forever changing, okay? Depends on, all right, the currency and economics. But yeah, those are some of the most expensive cities in the world. So Tokyo, Singapore. But it depends what you're actually buying, depends what you're doing. Right, let's move on now with our first task, superlatives. So, adjectives and nouns. Okay, we know adjectives, okay? Adjectives describe a noun. So it's a red bus, it's a big fridge, a small TV, yeah? Now, when we're using things like short adjectives, okay, big, small, fast, busy, okay, one or two syllables, it's 登线双线, okay? So, fast, small, big, tall, busy. So, tall, the tallest. Remember to add the, okay, because the plus adjective plus est. Tall, the tallest. Busy, the busiest. Remember, when we take y, it comes out as I-E-S-T, okay? Remember that. Next, we got long adjectives, okay? 双线, 三线, okay? Then we take or least, okay? 90 sud, plus adjective. Interesting, okay? Interesting. Cesian. So we say the most interesting. Expensive. Samsian, okay? 3 sounds, 3 syllables. The least expensive store. Now also we got irregular superlatives, okay? Now we've got things like good, okay? Good, better, the best. Bad, worse, the worst, okay? So let's have a look. So, good country to visit? What's the best country to visit? What's a bad problem in your country? What's the worst problem in your country? Okay, please remember those are regular superlatives. Now, nouns, okay? These are things you can touch and see, all right? Telephone, car, fan, TV, yeah? Tourism is a noun. So, when we do this, we add the most plus noun. So, which country has the most tourism? Seats. They're nouns. Which stadium has the most seats? Which classroom has the least computers? Which country or city has the most people? Alright, please remember, in conversation, okay, the most plus adjective is about 20 times more common than the least plus adjective. Normally we don't say the least. Please use EST with short adjectives, okay? What's the tallest building in the city? Not what's the most tall building in your city. All right, pretty clear, pretty straightforward. So, task. Now, what we've got to do is we've got to make, actually, these into superlatives, okay? Now remember, short adjectives, long adjectives, irregular superlatives, okay? Or irregular adjectives, actually, and superlatives with nouns. So our first one's done for us, okay? What's the large city? What's the largest city? Next, flights. Which airport has blank every day? Right, what do I put in there to make flights a superlative? Is it an adjective or a noun? Well, flights is a noun. So what do I write in there? Which airport has? Okay, the longer you take, the longer the less will be. Ah, okay. Which airport has the most flights every day? Number 3. What's fast way to travel? Ah, so what do I write there? How do I make it superlative? Come on, get typing. That's right, well done again, that person. One person actually put in some work today. Come on. What's the fastest way to travel? Okay, now, next. What's beautiful region? Ah, okay, so a long adjective there. How do I do this one? Waiting. Ah, thank you very much. Somebody's come up with the answer. Good, well done. What's remember the most beautiful region? Region meaning area. Region as in, okay? Like a province, yeah? Hey, which city has tourism? Okay, so tourism is a noun, we know. So, how do I make this into a superlative? Which city has? Exactly, well done. Which city has the most tourism? Now, where's famous monument? two sounds. So we come up with what is the most famous monument? What's a good university? How do I make this? Now it is an irregular. Now, well done, okay. What is the best university? What at all? Yay! Okay. What's bad problem for people? Yes, well done. What's the worst problem for people? Last one, which city has big population? And of course, that's very easy. Which city has the biggest population? Okay, let's answer this question. What's the largest city in Thailand? Well, of course, it's Bangkok, okay? Which airport has the most flights every day? Suvarnabhumi, of course. What's the fastest way to travel? By aeroplane. In Phuket in 1 hour. What's the most beautiful region? Now this depends, okay? Now you could say like maybe Khao Lak or Phuket, or maybe, you know, Krabi. Or you might say Ayutthaya. Or maybe Chiang Mai, you know. Depends on what you like. Which city has the most tourism? Biggest city with the biggest tourism? I'd probably say Bangkok probably has the biggest amount of tourists. Yeah, there's a lot of people always coming through Bangkok. Where's the most famous monument? Well, I think the Victory Monument in Bangkok, where the students like to protest, yeah. I think that one's probably the most famous. What's the best university? Well, a lot of people say Chula. Okay, it's one of the oldest. 8, what's the worst problem for people? Well, probably traffic, pollution, and lack of jobs. Which city has the biggest population? Of course, Bangkok has the largest population. Right, moving on. Okay, now in our next part. Speaking naturally. Link the final ST vowel, ST, to the vowel sounds, okay? Now if we stay in this, okay, what we do is we add them together. What's the most interesting neighborhood? Okay, most interesting. Okay, can you see that it joins the two words together? What's the tallest office building? Okay, now, next, what's the biggest hotel? Can you see that? Okay, and it's linking the sounds together. What's the largest library? What's the nicest restaurant? What's the fastest way to travel around? What's the oldest university? Now in the next one, we need to delete the final T and link the S to most consonant sounds. What area has the most traffic? Okay, most traffic. What's the busiest small? Okay, can you see we take away the T? What's the busiest small shopping area? Next, biggest stadium. Where's the biggest stadium? Next, best sports team. What's the best sports team? Next, most clubs. What neighborhood has the most clubs? What's the most popular dance club? What's the most popular dance club? And best movie. What's the best movie? Can you see that the sounds are linked together and we cut off the T? Right then, let's have a listen to somebody saying these things. Here we go. Try to copy and repeat.
Page 23. 3. Speaking naturally. Linking and deletion with superlatives. A. Listen and repeat the questions above. Notice how the final ST is linked to vowel sounds and the sounds h, l, r, w, y. However, the final T is deleted before and the S is linked to most consonant sounds. Link the final ST to vowel sounds and the sounds h, l, r, w, y.
What's the most interesting neighborhood?
What's the tallest office building?
What's the biggest hotel?
What's the largest library?
What's the nicest restaurant?
What's the fastest way to travel around?
What's the oldest university?
Delete the final T and link the S to most consonant sounds.
What area has the most traffic?
What's the busiest mall or shopping area?
Where's the biggest stadium?
What's the best sports team?
What neighborhood has the most clubs?
What's the most popular dance club?
What's the best movie theater?
Okay, so you see there about speaking naturally, okay? But don't worry too much about that. Worry more about superlatives, okay? Using them with adjectives and also irregular adjectives and also nouns. Now, on to lesson B, building vocabulary and grammar. Now, we have some facts below, okay? What I want you to do is complete the facts below with 7 of the natural features in the box. Now, let's have a look at these words. So first of all, we've got archipelago, okay? An archipelago is a group of islands together, okay? So we've got places like Koh Tao, Koh Samui, okay? They're grouped together. Koh Tao, Koh Samui, Koh Phangan, okay? They're islands together, they're archipelagos. Next we've got desert, okay? Now there are hot deserts and cold deserts, basically a place where nothing grows. Island, Bawat, Koh Samui, Koh Chang, Koh Lan, okay? An island, I say island, island. Mission. The coast, okay? The coast is, okay, where the land meets the sea, okay? So the coast. So, if you say I'm going to the coast, it means you're going to the land next to the sea. Glacier or glacier, okay? This is like a river of ice, okay? The Mungam Menam Nam King. So, it's a river of ice and it moves very slowly towards the sea. A lake. A lake is, if you go to SUT, we have a lake that you can jog around. Okay, Tiwing jogging, a lake. Bungtalua, there is a lake. It's a big pool of water. A mountain, all right. You know it as Khao Yai, okay. rainforest, I'm sure you know this word rainforest, okay? From places like the Amazon, okay? The Amazon rainforest. River, Menam, all right? You know, Chopra River, the Mekong River. Ocean, Tale, okay? Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean. A reef. If you have seen the film Finding Nemo, Nemo lives on a reef. Yes, many coral, many fish, a reef. And finally, volcano. All right, you can see fire and smoke come out of a mountain, a volcano. Right then, so let's finish, okay, these facts below with 7 of the natural features in the box. So let's have a look. First of all, we've got the Nile, okay? And we know the Nile is the longest river in Africa. Next, we have the largest what is the Pacific. The largest what is the Pacific. Come on, guys. Yes, ocean. Okay, good. And next, let's have a look. The largest hot something is the Sahara in Africa. Yes, desert. Well done. Okay. Now up here, this one here, the highest what in the world is Mount Everest in Asia? Which word? Yes, mountain. Well done. Okay. So the highest mountain and the largest ocean. Next, we have how big is the largest what? The Amazon in South America covers about 4 million square kilometers. Ooh, what is this? Yes, well done. You're absolutely right. The largest rainforest. And desert we've done. Last one. The most active what is probably Kilauea. Yes, the most active volcano is Kilauea. And on the what of Hawaii? What is Hawaii? It is it's not an archipelago, it's one place. An archipelago is made up of what? It's made of, yes, okay. It's an island. Well done. Okay, Hawaii Island. It is actually one of the states in the USA, Hawaii. The state of Hawaii. Okay, so, as you can see, all right, it tells you here, if I can just clear that, the Nile is the longest river, okay? It's 6,695 meters long. All right, so it uses the adjective at the end. The highest mountain in the world is Mount Everest in Asia. How high is it? It's 8,850 meters high. The largest ocean is Pacific. It covers 1/3 of the Earth's surface. The deepest part is about 11,000 meters deep. Now, when we're talking about area, we don't use big or small. How big is the largest rainforest? The Amazon in South America covers about 4 million square meters, but we don't say it covers about 4 billion square meters big. All right, we don't put that there. And the same again for this area. The largest hot desert is the Sahara in Africa. How large is it? It is about 9.1 million square kilometers, but we don't add the adjectives. Why? Because we're talking about area, all right? 9 million square kilometers, okay? 4 million square kilometers. And last of all, the most active volcano is probably Kilauea on the island of Hawaii. It's been active since 1983 and still erupts every day, okay? Now, let's move on, okay, to the next part. So, what natural features are in your country? Well, let's have a look. We've got archipelagos, deserts, islands, mountains, rainforests, rivers, a coast, so where the land meets the sea, valleys. Okay, valleys are where two mountains come together, okay, like this. So we can say that if you go to places like Wanamkiao is a valley. Glacier, all right, it's a river of ice. A lake. Remember, if you don't know these words, put them into your Google Translate. A lake, a big pool of water. Ocean, okay, we know that. A reef, where Nemo lives. Volcano, we know. A bay, what's a bay? All right. A bay is kind of like if you have like a beach here and then the beach comes in like this and goes around. Okay, the water is like this. And this is all land here. And we call this a bay, yeah? So you may have things like, you know, White Sands Bay. Next, cliffs. What are cliffs? Well, next to the sea, sometimes you got a big drop down. And then you have the sea. This is a cliff. Geysers. Now this is where you have maybe underground, you have hot water under the ground. And sometimes, okay, there's a lot of pressure and it pushes the water up and you end up with a big whoosh of hot water coming out. Okay, that's a geyser. Now, hot springs. So, this will be a hot spring, okay? The water underneath. And hot springs, sometimes you can sit in them. I don't know if you've been to Chiang Mai. They have a hot spring there, and you can take eggs and cook the eggs in the hot water. Peninsula. This is where you have land, okay? And it comes out to the sea like this, okay? So you have land here. And this is sea here. This is called a peninsula. All right, next we got sand dunes. So you have sand dunes and they big hills like this made out of sand. You might have seen them. Okay, in deserts. These are sand dunes. And last of all, we got waterfall. Okay, Namdok. Okay, waterfall. Right then, so we've gone through our different natural features. Now, do we have them in our country? Well, yes. Okay, archipelago. Yes, we do. We have beaches too. Do we have a desert? No, we do not. Next, islands. Yes, we do have islands. Mountains. Yes, we got Gaoyai, Doi Sutet. Yes, we have them. A rainforest. Yes, I think it's called Khao Sok. Yes. Park. That is a rainforest. We do have one in Thailand. Rivers. Yes, of course we have. Okay, the Chao Phraya. We have the Mekong. Okay, the River Kong. Next we've got a coast. Yes, we have lots of coast. Yes, we have lots of land next to the sea. Unfortunately, places like Laos, they don't have any land. They don't have any coasts. Valleys. Yes, lots of valleys. Okay. Glacier. No, we don't have any glaciers in Thailand. It's too hot. Lakes. Yes, there are lots of lakes here in Thailand. Ocean. Yes, we have the Andaman Ocean, okay, the Andaman Sea. A reef. Yes, lots of reefs here, okay. Just have to go down to places, just even over by Koh Lan. Volcanoes. Now, we do have one volcano. If you've ever been to Phnom Rung, okay, Phnom Rung is on the top of an old volcano. It's a dormant volcano. It's not an active volcano. Bays, yes, we have bays, okay. Especially if you go down to Phuket, lots of bays. Cliffs. Okay, there's our volcano dormant. Cliffs, yes, we have lots of cliffs, okay. Geysers. Now, we don't have a geyser. In Chiang Mai, you probably see water come up, but it's not real. It's done with a pump. A geyser will come up, then stop. Come up, stop. On, off, on, off. The one in Chiang Mai is always on. It's actually a water pump. But hot springs, yes, they are hot springs up there in Chiang Mai if you've been to the park, and you can cook your eggs in them. Peninsula, we have the Malay Peninsula, okay, at the bottom of Thailand, where Thailand comes down and gets smaller and smaller and goes to Malaysia, okay? So the Malay Peninsula, yes, we do have a peninsula. Sand dunes, yes, there are sand dunes, okay? I have actually seen them, all right, near the sea. And last of all, waterfalls, lots of waterfalls in Thailand. Features we don't have a desert, okay? We don't have glaciers. And we don't have geysers. Okay, now, next part. Now we have to finish these questions. Now remember, when we're talking about river, we say how blank is the River Nile? How wide? Yes, okay, thank you. How long is the River Nile? Now, number two, we answer that question. Okay, we make the question now. Something high is Mount Everest. We say exactly how high. Okay, how long is River Nile? How high is Mount Everest? Now we answer these questions. How long is the River Nile? It's 6,695 kilometers long. You know, it's 6,595 kilometers long. How high is Mount Everest? It's 8,850 meters. Not deep, come on. How high? Yes, okay. It's 8,850 meters high, okay? Because it goes up. If it goes down, you say how deep, okay? How deep is an ocean? How deep is the canyon? All right, wonderful stuff. You get the idea. How long? It's blah, blah, blah kilometers long. How high? It's blah, blah, blah meters high. So, let's have a look. Questions with how plus adjective. Now, when we're talking about how high something is, okay, we add on there, how high is Mount Everest? It's 8,850 meters high. How long is the River Nile? It's 6,695 kilometers long. How wide is the Grand Canyon? It's about 29 kilometers wide. How deep is the Pacific Ocean? It's about 11,000 meters deep. Now, when we're talking about how big or how small something is, how large, how small something is, we don't use the adjective at the end. Okay, it's 9.1 square kilometers, 9.1 million square kilometers. And also, hot and cold. How hot, how cold does it get in Death Valley? Now, we're talking in degrees Celsius. It can reach 48 degrees Celsius. As you can see, we don't say it can reach 48 degrees Celsius hot. No. It's 9.1 million square kilometers large. All right, so some measurements can be followed by the adjectives such as high, tall, long, wide, deep, shallow, etc. Now let's see if you can get this together, okay, and do the next task. So, write 2 questions about each of the natural features below. longest river in Canada? Now, our answer here is the Mackenzie River. Okay. So how can I ask the question to answer the Mackenzie River? Well, I can say something like this. What is the longest river in Canada? The Mackenzie River. Okay, there you go. Okay, what is the longest river in Canada? Now I got an answer. 4,241 kilometers. So what is the question? I can say how. I can say, how long is it? It is 4,241 kilometers long. All right, do you get the idea? Okay, what's the longest river in Canada? How long is it? What's the longest river in Canada? The Mackenzie River. How long is it? 4,241 kilometers. Let's do the next one. Okay, help me out with this. You know what we're doing now. Mount Aconcagua, the highest mountain in South America. So I can say, what is Come on, guys. What is Okay, all right, everybody's sleeping today. See, that's a problem with studying on Sundays. What is the highest mountain in South America? Now, look over here. It's got 6,962 meters. So I can say how high is it? You got it, well done. How high is it? It is 6,962 meters high. Next, continent. Okay, you know this word? Continent. Continent means like Europe, North America, South America, Asia. Okay? Continent. So, the smallest continent. What's the question going to be if the answer is Australia? Exactly, well done. Thank you very much. So, what is the smallest continent? Now, I'm not going to say how small is it, okay, because it's pretty big. So I'm going to say how. Okay, well done. How big is it, all right? Because Australia is not small. Now, next we've got the widest canyon, the Grand Canyon. So what's the question going to be?
What is the biggest canyon in the
That's right. What is the widest canyon in the world? What is the widest canyon in the world? 29 kilometers. So, how do I say? How? Yes, well done. Thank you there. How wide is it? Now, next. Okay. Lake Baikal. Lake Baikal is in Russia. Okay? Russia. The deepest lake in the world. So, what's the question? The question will be... Okay. All right. The question will be, what is the deepest lake in the world? What is the deepest lake in the world? And it says 1,741 meters. Ooh, wow. Nearly 2 kilometers. So I can say how? Exactly. Well done. How deep is it? And last one, we have Antarctica. Okay, Antarctica is the South Pole. The Arctic is the North Pole. So Antarctica, the coldest place in the world. And of course, the question is, what is the coldest place in the world? Now, our answer is minus 89.6 degrees Celsius. So, I'm going to ask, how? Yes, well done. How cold is it? It is minus 89.6 degrees Celsius. But we don't say cold. It is minus 89.6 degrees Celsius cold? No. Okay, because we're talking about, remember, heat, hot and cold, and of course, big and small. We don't use them at the end. All right, well done. So we've learned about superlatives, okay? And we've learned about asking questions with superlatives. How high is it? How deep is it? What's the longest river? What's the highest mountain? What's the smallest continent? What's the widest canyon? What's the deepest lake? What's the coldest place? Right then. Okay, next, what we're going to do, okay, we're going to study the next part. It's the listening part. What do you know? Take the quiz below. Circle A, B, or C. Okay, circle A, B, and C. Let's have a look. Come on, guys. Now, what do you think? The world's tallest trees grow in A, Japan, B, Brazil, or C, the United States. What do you think, A, B, or C? The tallest trees. Okay, I've got correct answer C, okay, for the US. Now, number 2. Something is the highest lake in the world. What do you think? Lake Victoria, Lake Superior, or Lake Titicaca? A, B, or C? No idea. Okay. Oh, I got an answer B, Lake Titicaca. Now, the longest mountain range. Okay. Longest mountain range. A mountain range is like lots of mountains together. Okay, so we've got A, the Andes, B, the Himalayas, or C, the Rocky Mountains. Okay, I've got an answer for A, the Andes. Number 4 now. the largest archipelago. Now remember, archipelago are a group of islands. Which do you think? A, the Philippines, B, Greece, or C, Indonesia? The most islands. Oh, I've had an answer for C, Indonesia. Okay, another one for C. Number 5. Now, be careful. The world's deepest canyon is in A, Australia. Sorry, A, the United States, B, Tibet, or C, Australia. What do you think? The deepest canyon? We just read about this, didn't we? Oh, right, okay, a lot of people go for B, Tibet. Last one, number 6. The world's smallest volcano. All right, where do you think it is? A, the Philippines, B, Italy, or C, Mexico? Okay, a lot of people got for C, Mexico. All right, so what we're going to do now, all right, you had a guess. We're going to listen to the quiz. Were your guesses correct or not? Listen and circle the correct answers. Here we go.
Page 25. 3. Listening. What do you know? B. Listen to the quiz show. Were your guesses correct? Write the correct answers above. Welcome to What Do You Know? Our first player is Maria Lopez from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Welcome, Maria.
Thank you.
All right. So, Maria, what topic do you want to start with?
Natural wonders, please.
Natural wonders it is. Okay, here's question number 1. What country has the world's tallest trees?
It's the United States.
Correct. The world's tallest trees are California redwoods in the United States. The tallest redwoods are about 370 feet tall, which is about 113 meters. Good job, Maria. Now, here's the next question. What's the highest lake in the world?
I think it's Lake Titicaca, isn't it?
That's right. Lake Titicaca in Peru is the highest lake. It's 3,812 meters above sea level. Here's question 3. What's the longest mountain range?
Mountain range?
Yes, a mountain range, a group of mountains.
The Andes?
Right again. The Andes in South America are about 7,600 kilometers long. Okay, next question. What is the world's largest archipelago?
An archipelago is a group of islands, right?
That's right.
Oh, I think, it's the Philippines. No, wait, it's Indonesia.
Correct. Indonesia is the world's largest archipelago. It has about 13,000 islands. Question 5. What country has the deepest canyon?
That's easy. It's the Grand Canyon in the United States.
Oh, sorry. The deepest canyon in the world is in Tibet. It's the Grand Canyon of Yarlung Tsangpo. It's over 5,000 meters deep. That's about 16,400 feet. Okay, now, the final question. You need a correct answer to stay in the game. Where is the world's smallest volcano?
Okay, well, I think the world's smallest active volcano is in the Philippines. But there's a smaller volcano in Puebla, in Mexico. It's not active, but it is a volcano. So I'm going to say Mexico.
It is in Mexico, and it's only 13 meters or 43 feet high. Congratulations, Maria. You answered 5 out of 6 questions correctly. Let's go on to the next topic.
Okay, so let's get some feedback, all right? Now, said the world's tallest trees. Now, a few of you said sea. Yes, you were absolutely right. It was the United States, okay? Now, next, you said about, okay, which is the highest lake in the world? Well, sorry. They're 130 meters tall. Next, which is the highest lake in the world? It was Lake Titicaca. How high is it? It's 3,812 meters high. Okay, get these written down. Next, the longest mountain range. You're absolutely right. It is the Andes. Okay, how long is it? It's extremely long. It covers over 7,600 kilometers. Okay, that's an incredible long way. That's about from here to Italy. Next, we've got the world's largest archipelago. Philippines is an archipelago. It has a lot of islands, but Indonesia has many more. It has over 13,000 different islands, and they speak many different versions of languages there. The world's deepest canyon was, of course, in Tibet. Okay. How deep is it? Well, it's said that it's 5,000 meters deep. And last one, the world's smallest volcano is in Mexico. How high is it? It is 13 meters high. 13 meters high, very small. Okay, right then. So, we've come to the end of this quiz. Okay? Get those written down in your book. Now remember, when we're actually saying these things, okay? Let me just get my annotation up. Now, when we're saying how tall, 130 meters tall. How high? 3,812 meters high. How long? 7,600 kilometers long. But when we're talking about how many, okay, how many islands does it have? Well, it has 13,000 islands, we can say. Now next, how deep? Okay, it's 5,000 meters deep. How high? It is 30 meters high. Remember, for heat, okay, how cold is it? How hot is it? We don't use the adjective. And how big, how small, how large? We don't use the adjective at the end. All right, I hope that's clear. Let's move on. Right, that brings us to the end of the lesson today. So what have we learned? First of all, we learned about superlatives, okay? Now we learned about short adjectives, big, the biggest, small, the smallest, fast, the fastest. Then we learned about long adjectives, beautiful, most beautiful, expensive, most expensive. Then we learned about irregular adjectives. Okay? Good. Best. The best, okay? And bad. The worst. Finally, we learned about nouns. People. The most people. Tourism. The most tourism. Flights. The most flights. Or the least flights. Then we used ask and answer question about your country's natural features. Now we learned about places like archipelagos, okay, sand dunes, canyons, cliffs, coasts, bays, geysers, hot water springs, etc., etc. And we learned to ask questions. How long is the River Nile? How high is Mount Everest? Then we learn how to identify the biggest or the best or the most beautiful finished up with a small quiz, answering questions on different places around the world. Okay, now we've come to the end of the lesson, which is great. And remember, we have a lesson next week. Okay, so I will see you on Wednesday at 10 o'clock. But the week after that is Coronation Day. Okay, so next week on Wednesday, we have a lesson. The week after, no lesson. It's Coronation Day, okay? So please remember. All right, remember, now, I will say this to you. There are a few people that haven't joined us yet. So, if you have your phone, okay, I want you, oh look, most of the people have left already. Okay, I want you to please join the line group, okay? I'll put it up for you here. You can see it now. In this to group 20. If you haven't joined already, please join the line group. It's very important. Also, okay, very soon when we finish Unit 3, okay, then we'll have a quiz. So, where will the quiz be? Well, it will be on the SUT e-learning site. Now, if you haven't joined, and I can see some of you haven't, here is the site, okay? So you can have a look, join the e-learning site, because that is where your quiz will be. Now, if you just type in my name, Michael Scott, okay, when you're searching, and then you'll see it's English for Communications Group 20. Our password to get in is Serenary1234. So, please join it, okay? Because if you haven't joined it and it's quiz day and you go, oh teacher, I can't find it, I can't even get in the quiz, I cannot do it. Well, should have joined it earlier, okay? So, please make sure you're part of the e-learning site and also you are part of the line group as updates will be given. Please remember as well, Cambridge LMS. Activate your account, get started. One of you is doing very well, the rest of you are still on mostly zero. So please, get working, get units 2, and also start unit 3 now. Don't leave it till the end. Many people do. And remember, it's 15%, 15% a year mark. Okay? Many people who didn't do it, they failed. All right? And had to do English 2 again. So, please make sure to do it. I know it costs a little bit of money to get the code. Once you do it, it's easy to pass. All right. Before we go, anybody, any questions? Anything you'd like to know? If you're wondering when the quiz is, it's on the study timetable, okay? In the e-learning site. All right, looks like we don't have any questions, so I will see you on Wednesday at 10 o'clock, okay? And again, thank you very much for being here. Okay, everybody, see you next week, and have a good day. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
นี่เลยคำที่อยากได้ยินที่สุด